We're about to tackle South Africa's longest off-road trail. We'll be doing it with some friends, there'll be some spills, there'll be some thrills. Welcome to Get Out Go. I'm Christoph. Please join us as we tackle the Namakwa 4x4 Eco Trail. This series is brought to you by Outdoor Campers, Off the Beaten Track, Opposite Lock, Adventure Driven, alu-cab, make it better, Tackler Products, we've got you covered, and Go Camp, no excuses. Every journey begins with a choice. Not just where to go, but what to leave behind. The noise, the rush, the weight we carry without even knowing it. As we pack, it's not just gear we're gathering, it's trust in the unknown, in the road ahead, in ourselves. There's something sacred in these quiet moments before departure, the stillness before motion, the breath before the leap. We don't exactly know what we'll find out there, but we know it starts here.
We just left Red Sands. We on the N14. It is a bit busy. You can expect to get some trucks here sometimes. Had a good first evening. Everybody met up here, so Amy, Lee and Georgia came up from Cape Town. We obviously came from Joburg and Pretoria. Just met up for the first evening, just relaxed. Red Sands is usually a good stopover to and from Namibia or the Kalahari or the Namakwa Eco Trail. You're excited to see Augrabies?
Yes. I'm excited to have everybody with us. It's quite a nice convoy and it's pretty, but I'm quite excited to do the Namakwa 4x4 Eco Trail. And it's wet. It's been raining a lot, so yeah.
Yeah, we had some rain last night. It seems fairly dry now, and from watching the weather, it's been fairly dry up here, but there is a lot of rain upstream, so the river levels will be a lot higher.
The river we're heading to is the Orange River, also called the Garies. First though, we'll stop at Uppington and Kakamas. Then it's a short drive to our first camp.
Morning everybody, very nice morning as opposed to yesterday's afternoon's rain. Georgia and Amy Lee, how was your first night at camp?
Our first night was very good. We really thought it was worth coming all the way to Red Sands to see it, and we're really excited for today.
Awesome. Francois,
I enjoyed it very much. I think we were blessed with a little bit of rain. It cooled it down, settled the dust, so it was really, really pleasant.
Yeah, this neck of the woods can get really hot, so yeah, any bit of rain is quite welcome. And Rudu, how's that bushwhacker treating you?
No, the bushwhacker was very nice. I had a very comfortable sleep last night. It was really nice, a little bit cooler weather, so it really helped a lot, and it was a really nice experience.
Awesome. Nathan?
Yeah, it was good. No complaints. Comfortable camping. Also enjoyed the rain. It was good.
Right, so we've got about 2 hours to Uppington. We'll stop for some last minute supplies, and then we're on to Augrabies National Park. We just stopped at the local meeters here in Uppington. We're looking for fishing rods and a blow-up mattress for Nathan. Uppington seems to be on the up. It's quite neat and tidy, I must say. And this is a massive meeters, by the way.
It's a perfect time to grab a coffee as well. Tucked beneath the warmth of the sun and the quiet flow of the Orange River, lunch at Dimas feels like a pause in time. Here the road slows and the senses awaken. The wine is bold, the food honest, and the welcome unmistakably generous. All along this river, vines thrive in the dust and heat, rooted deep in resilience. These farms are more than places. They're stories poured into a glass, shared between strangers who feel like friends.
Overlanding a lot of times isn't about just hardcore off-roading. It is, after all, vehicle-based adventure travel. So it's really about exploring places, meeting people. We certainly did well with that, I think, today. So.
Crossing the Orange always stays with you. There's something about the way the water moves, calm, steady, ancient. It's more than a boundary on a map. It's a threshold. One side is the world you know, the other something deeper, quieter. As the river slips beneath us, we leave behind more than dust. We step into the unknown. The further we drive, the quieter the world gets, and more people begin to thaw. Smiles linger longer, conversations grow deeper. Out here, even the silence feels like connection. Augrabies is the perfect start for this adventure, where comfort meets the edge of the wild. It eases you into the wide skies, thunderous falls, and just enough calm before the real solitude begins. Out here, the scenery stirs something in you, and the stillness starts to feel like home. It might be small, but it must be one of Sandpark's best-run parks. You can even shop for a new hat here.
Does this work? Yeah, it's
Matches your shirt.
than the other one. Does it work?
Camp settles quietly around us. Zips drawn, firewood stacked, boots kicked off. The day exhales. And then, drawn by a distant roar, we walk. Not far, but far enough to remember why we came. The Augrabies Falls. Wild, relentless and alive. As you approach, you don't just see it, you feel it.
So I love photography and I love art. The way that light falls in nature, through Augrabies Falls, and we're walking along the path, it was just Amy and I at one point, the light was just coming up over the waterfall and we just tiptoed over the edge and peered down, like just having that breathtaking view of this expanse of just heavy water falling and like these orange rocks and the sun peeking out over the top. It was just so beautiful.
The world here feels still, vast, silent, untouched. On Moon Rock, the wind brushes past, but it carries more than dust. It carries memory. You stand alone, but you're not the first. For thousands of years, the Sun People walked here, watched the same moonrise, left quiet traces in the stone. And if you listen closely, really listen, you can almost hear them. Whispers of stories, of survival, of spirit. Echoes that remind you you're part of something much older than yourself.
So the benefit of actually camping at Augrabies is you can hit the sunrise here over the waterfalls. Highly suggest you do that. Whereas a day visitor, you can only come later. So that's definitely the advantage of staying here. And the campsites are pretty nice as well, very traditional, but really like them.
The morning light spills softly through the trees, casting long shadows on the ground. The air is cool, heavy with the scent of earth and dew. The distant rumble of the falls hums in the background, a constant reminder of the wildness that surrounds us. The campsites feel timeless, simple, traditional, but spacious enough to breathe, to pause. There's no rush, no need to hurry. We move at the rhythm of this place, gathering ourselves slowly, savoring the silence. The journey is ahead, but for now, we linger with the stillness, letting the world wake with us.
So just a quick overnight at Augrabies National Park. It's very scenic here. And the campsite's the first time I've actually stayed overnight. I usually just before came as a day visitor, and I can actually recommend it. The bathrooms were very nice. The campsites are quite quaint and well equipped and very well looked after. Well done, Sand Parks. It was your first time here. What did you think?
Very pretty, very nice, very different than what I've experienced before. The falls, it's amazing, and it's not even at full capacity yet. So it would be really nice to see it at full capacity and coming down, but the sunrise was gorgeous.
So the name Augrabies originates from the Khoi word Augrabies, which means place of great noise. So that's the noise the waterfall makes. Very interesting place to visit. I highly recommend it. So we really had a really good stay last night. It was our first time actually camping at Augrabies. I've been, Vanessa hasn't been, but we haven't camped there, and I found it was pretty good.
I also really enjoyed it. I haven't been here before, so it was the first for me. But really beautiful place. Now seeing the falls, even though it's not flowing at full capacity, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely I will do it again.
And Amy Lee and Georgia, you also went for a hike this morning. How did that go?
Well, we got lost, but it was really beautiful. Such a awesome landscape to be in. We were saying that we felt like we were in Brother Bear, the movie. It was so beautiful. Honestly, completely blown away. We've been camping at the wrong spots.
Yeah, I think it's very underrated. It's a sand park. It's very traditional camping, but it's very quaint, and the scenery is just spectacular. So yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed it as well. Rudu, what did you think? You've been here before, but how did you enjoy it last night?
Christoph, it was very nice. Augrabies has always been good to us, the whole area. And we've never camped inside of Augrabies. We've always camped just outside. But no, it was very nice. And last night, that sunset from Moonrock was really spectacular.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a little drive and then a walk to do that sighting. Nathan, what did you think?
No, it was the first time for me. So yeah, I'd like to come back to see the falls in full action. But the highlight for me was definitely that Moonrock yesterday. That was cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely not a Big 5 game reserve, but it's still very worthwhile visiting, and it's definitely underrated, I think. So, on our way to Riemvasmaak, which is very different, a little bit wilder. So sort of, I think, the start of our wild journey now, and we'll air down just now when we hit dirt. So, yep, let's hit the road.
It's a short but scenic road to Riemvasmaak via the Blouputs Pass. We'll camp at the hot springs tonight and then head back to Kakamas to refuel before we hit the trail.
Blompot van die Vlei, by Blompot van die Vlei. Kom sit by my ou ding, ek wil vir jou 'n liedjie sing. My hart is aan die brand, my hart is aan die brand. Jou ma sê nee, jou pa sê ja, by my kan jy maar klaar.
About stopping in the middle of the day to air down.
It's quite hot, but we need to do it. It's going to make the ride more comfortable and also preserve the roads.
So just a quick one. Is this your first airing down?
Second.
Second. And?
Forgot how to do it. But
Airing
then
down
reminded me.
Yeah, airing down is not the concern. We're a little bit more concerned about pumping back up, that we have all of our pieces that we need. But we'll work it out. Yeah.
The road twists and climbs, the Blouputs Pass unfolding before us like an ancient map. Every corner reveals a new canvas, stark, dramatic, the land carved by time itself. River trees rise from the earth like silent sentinels, their twisted branches reaching for the sky, bearing witness to centuries of change. Their presence is a reminder of how life endures, even in the harshest of places. The gravel crunches beneath the tires, the climb steep but steady. With each turn, we pull deeper into the heart of this place. Riemvasmaak lies ahead, a place that feels almost forgotten, yet somehow always present, waiting to remind us just how small we are in the face of all this vastness.
So this is Riemvasmaak. The Blompot River actually runs underground for the most part, and here it surfaces, and because it's been running underground for so long, it surfaces in mineral water, so it's actually quite warm, and it's hot springs, natural hot springs here, and some of it's been dammed into sort of pools. Regular viewers of the channels will know I couldn't camp at one of the campsites the last time because of the river levels. Same problem this time. So we've had to sort of camp in the day visitor area, which is not bad. It's really nice down here, but with impending floods coming down, you never know. You don't want to be camping inside riverbeds. We are walking to the hot springs now, so let me show you around there. It's a very beautiful area, this, no doubt about it. So this is one of the hot springs where they've made a nice pool. Very comfortable, but it is quite hot. It is hot out here, so I'm going to look for the cool pool. This is not for me. How's the water?
It's warm and it's beautiful.
It's pretty cool. It's a little warm because it is like, I think it's like 37, 38 at the moment. But once you're out, it does cool down, and I think this will be pretty cool in winter actually. But nevertheless, nice experience. It is, if you can use the campsites, very bush camps, Even if you use the public area, there's some ablutions there and everything, so it's not bad. Fortunately, we have good company as well.
The campsites might be basic, but the location is stunning. Rocky cliffs give way to hidden valleys, the air warmer, carrying the promise of something unexpected. The hot springs emerge like a secret, tucked away in this rugged wilderness, steam rising gently from the earth's embrace. The landscape here feels ancient, shaped by time and water, where the land pulses with a quiet energy of its own. Surrounding us, the hills stand tall and silent, a sea of sand and scattered boulders, while the warm waters beckoned us to pause, to soak in the stillness of this place, hidden in this unexpected corner of the world. As the sun sets, the world slows into a peaceful silence. The sky deepens from gold to indigo, and the moon rises, casting its silver light across the land. Around the campfire, the flames crackle, their warmth a comfort against the cool night air. There's a deep peace in this moment, unhurried, uncomplicated, but beneath it, a quiet excitement stirs. The meal is simple yet rich with flavor, a perfect end to the day. As we sit together, we know tomorrow holds more, the wild, the unknown, the next chapter of this journey. But for now, there's only this, the fire, the moon, and the calm that comes when you're exactly where you're meant to be. Riemvasmaak wakes with us. The sun rises slow, casting long shadows across this ancient ground. There's a hum beneath the stillness, an unspoken promise. We fold away camp, tightening straps, checking the map, but our thoughts are already out there, chasing the trail ahead. The Namaqua calls, not loudly, but with purpose. And in this moment between where we've been and where we're going, everything feels possible. The road climbs, slow and sure, out of Riemvasmaak's quiet cradle. Engines hum in rhythm, tires finding grip on the ancient stone. We all come from different corners of the map, different stories, different lives. But here, on this track, we move as one. Bound not by destination, but by the pull of the unknown. Overlanding isn't just where we go, it's how we go, together. The desert opens wide before us, vast, untamed, endless. We are just a scatter of movement across a canvas of silence. Dust rises behind us, sun glints off the glass and steel, and the road stretches on. Out here, the noise fades, the world narrows, and something deeper begins. We're not just passing through the landscape, we're becoming part of it. We are headed to the final flickers of civilization before we head out.
Filling the tires there. We've just worked out how to do the system. And it's very neat, and we don't even require the bonnet.
We've stopped at the Bergendal coffee shop at Riemvasmaak, where we happen to meet a legend in these parts. If you've watched South African television, you'll recognize Norbert Coetzee from the Voetspore team.
Okay.
Norbert is also heading to Kakamas, so we happily give him a lift.
Cool, that was a pretty good stay at the Riemvasmaak, and as we head down, I thought I saw a familiar face. It's baie lekker om jou hier by ons te hê, Norbert. Hoe gaan dit met jou?
Nee, ek is ook baie bly man om bietjie weer nuwe mense te ontmoet, nuwe geselskap. Ek is ook baie bly om te waardeer dat julle Riemvasmaak besoek het. En nogal laat ons daar maar bietjie sien dat die Kalahari daar ook reën kry.
Ja, ek sien ons kon nie in die rivier kamp nie, want die rivier kan enige tyd afkom daar. Daar's dan nog water op pad dan die hele toe, so dan gaan dit goed hierso wees, dink ek.
Ek moet dit sê, dis 'n goeie beplanning daar, want ek het laas toe ek daar werk, toe moes ek manne gaan red daarso, want hulle sê toe vir my, ek sê vir hulle, ons voorspel reën. Toe sê die ander man vir ons, nee man, julle bly in die Kalahari, julle hier kom ons nie reën nie. En net die nag toe kom val daar 'n wolk. Toe ander dag toe moes ons van die manne se karre daar gaan uitred.
Nee, ek het maar gedink is beter as ons nie in die middel van die nag moet swem daar uit ons tente uit nie. En anderster, waar is jou volgende toer hier, Norbert?
Ek het laas maand was ek in Somerset West daar by Johan se plek. En toe die manne, weet jy, ons het so grand opening gehad. En toe het loop, weet jy, probeer met Johan te gesels daar so. Om te wel seker te maak, wanneer is Johan se toer. Toe sê Johan, ons het nou episode van Colombia en Brazil wat uitgesaai raak op SABC 2. En dan daarna sal hy by SABC hoor in Johannesburg. Of daar nog 'n trip van hierdie jaar is of volgende jaar. Maar dan sal hy vir ons na so oor 2 maande weer laat weet.
Okay, lekker. Nee, ons sal uitkyk vir dit. Amy Lee and Georgia, what did you think of the first sort of bush camp and Riemvasmaak?
It was beautiful. We loved being in the canyons and the hot springs were awesome, except it was so hot that maybe a little bit too hot for us, but we did have a great day there.
Yeah, this place can get pretty hot, obviously, and I think we were spared it can get even hotter. Francois, your first time at Riemvasmaak as well, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. It's really beautiful. You can't believe there's a gem like this in the middle of nowhere, but it's definitely a place I'll come back to. Like the girl said, the canyons, the rock formations, it's just beautiful, something next level.
Yeah, it's certainly different, and yeah, I think it's very underrated, this whole area to travel here. And Rudu, how was it towing the caravan through Blouputs Pass?
Christoph, that's why I decided to tow in the first place. I wanted to have a bit of a challenge and see what it's like, and everything went very well. Caravan behaved very well, so yeah, it was really nice. Even going into Riemvasmaak on that small little pass there and coming out this morning, I had no trouble, but it was really fun, and I'd do it again.
Yeah, I think it's not overly technical. It is fun, but you know, if you do have a family and you've got a proper off-road caravan and a 4x4, there's no excuse. You can really reach these type of places, right?
Definitely, and a little common sense goes a long way.
Always. Nathan, what did you think?
Yeah, I think everybody described it well. But I think the part that surprised me the most yesterday was Amy Lee's skills with the Kitty. She was shooting down the cans last night.
Yeah, well done on that, Amy Lee, for a first-time shooter.
It's fine. Stop it, guys. You're too much.
All right, so we are heading to Kakamas again, where we will refuel. We're about to hit dirt again. And once we've stocked up and said goodbye to Norbert, then we will be heading to Pella. So we just stopped at Kakamas some of us to refuel and to restock. and we dropped Norbert off. It was awesome. It's lekker om te ontmoet, Norbert. We've got about an hour's drive to Pofadder, which is the last fuel before you hit the Namakwa Eco Trail. Then it's probably another hour to Pella, and we'll show you around Pella as well. I like these little towns in the Northern Cape. I think this is a highly underrated tourist destination, especially if you're an overlander. Lots and lots of great dirt roads, and the scenery is very stark, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's great to have you with me for a change, other than last time. I seem to have bad luck with Riemvasmaak. The last time I couldn't camp in the campsites either because there was water through there, and last night they advised us not to camp there because they're expecting water to come down. South Africa's had a lot of rain and the orange is pushing up. So don't camp in riverbeds around the Richtersveld or this sort of area. It might look dry now, but you could wake up swimming out of your rooftop tent, so be careful with that. How did you like Riemvasmaak?
I liked it. It's just undescribable beautiful. And going down in that gorge was a bit nerve-wracking as well. The driving, it's just beautiful.
We're heading down the N14 towards Pofadder, your last refueling opportunity before taking the trail. We'll then stop at Pella and take Charles Pass to our first camp, Harbeesmond.
Okay folks, we're rolling into Pella. The main attraction here is the Catholic Church. That's actually where this town gets its name from, as in Palestine. That's where the Pella comes from. This has been here for a very long time, and we'll have a closer look at the cathedral just now.
And it is 38 degrees outside right now, so that's going to be real fun and interesting to film the church.
In 38 degrees.
No.
Pella, 1875. Dis baie oud.
This mission has been here since 1814, and the building of the cathedral started around 1885. In the heart of the desert, this place stands, weathered, still, and full of soul, built by hand, held by time. Whether you come with faith or just curiosity, it asks you to pause, to listen, to feel. These walls have seen lifetimes, carried hopes, and anchored a community through generations. It's more than just stone and timber. It's memory, shelter, belonging.
Dit is Franse sendelinge wat in 1882 uitgekom het. En maar hulle was nie die eerste sendelinge nie. Daar was voor hulle was dit die London missionaries wat hier so was. Ja, in 1882. 1882, ja. Yes. Dit was toe hulle ook van hulle het dan ook nie lank gebly as gevolg van aanpassing. Ja. En dis was dat die taal was God se en dan die eetgebond is, né? Ons weet mos wat eet die Franse. Ja. So van hulle toe terug gegaan, maar Simon was die leier van die groep van 5. Ja. En hy het toe agtergebly en dan Die ene wat hier so involved was was 'n broeder. Hy was nog geen priester nie. En hulle het toe agtergebly. En toe dit nou klein, toe dit die gemeente nou groei, toe begin hulle beplan hulle om 'n kerk te bou. Dit was so 1886 tot 87, maar die manne het geen kennis van bou gehad nie. Maar onder die 5 het iemand, een van hulle 'n ensiklopedie saamgebring. En daar het hulle 'n planne gekry. En according to die planne het hulle toe begin om hierdie kerkie te bou. Dit het hulle 7 jaar geneem. Maar hulle het volhard. Dit is die groot ding van hierdie mense. Die uithou vermoë en die volharding van dit wat jy wil doen. En hulle het 'n visie gehad. So hulle het toe oor so 'n lang ding kort te maak. Oor 7 jaar het hulle dit kerk toe klaar gebou. En in sy worsteling, soos ek en eens op 'n tyd in ons lewens by 'n kruispunt kom, het hy ook op 'n kruispunt gekom waar hy vir homself vra, moet ek gaan, moet ek bly? En nagte wat hy nie kon slaap, het hy in gebed gebly en gesê, moet ek gaan en moet ek bly? En in sy worsteling het hy daar die kruis met sy sakmes, die korpus, dus ons noem dit die korpus, die liggaam van Christus, het hy met sy sakmes uitgekerwe. En in sy gebed sê, almal is weg, net ek en Jesus het agtergebly. En dit is original. Dit is wat ons nog van die man ontsoen. So op 'n oggend van die vroeë 80e jare was die nonne in die kerk met hulle gebede besig. Dis hoe dit gebeur het. Die agterste 3 pilare op oggend waar die nonne in die kerk was, in mekaar gesak het. En koud mense toe ingeneem en hulle toe die pilare weer stewig gemaak. Maar toe dit gebeur het hulle aan een van die pilare 'n plekkie gevind. En in die plekkie toe hulle die plekkie oopmaak, toe kry hulle die sakmes. Met die inscription wat sê, dit is die sakmes wat ek gebruik het om die Christusbeeld uit te kerf. Dit is vir my en vir ons die hoogtepunt van wat hier gebeur, die geskiedenis. 'n man wat moed gehad het, 'n man wat geloof gehad het en uitgebly het. En hierdie kerk staan nog vandag, nou oor die 100 jaar. En hy word nog steeds gebruik.
We leave Pella behind, its quiet streets, its stories, etched in stone. Ahead lies Charles Pass, carved through the ridges like a threshold between worlds. This is it, the Namakwa 4x4 Eco Trail, the reason we came. Rough, remote, unapologetically wild. The kind of road that asks everything of you and gives more in return.
So we are on Charles Pass, which is one of the ways you can get to Harbeesmond campsite. It's a little rocky, it's got some rock steps. Most standard four-wheel drives with low range should be able to do it with no issues. There seems to be a few discrepancies with the maps. It's always an issue with rural areas where people just drive new routes where there's no roads actually. Very difficult to find the actual route sometimes because there's like 5 little routes in the same spot. So what we usually do is when we're done, we upload the dump files from our GPSs to Trucks for Africa just to update those. So those are constantly being updated, and that's a good reason to update your Trucks for Africa maps regularly so you get the most up-to-date routes that people have actually followed. We are headed to Harbeesmond, which is our first campsite. We're still a good 4 hours away. Scenery is pretty cool. It is definitely in the middle of the desert now, and it is very scenic.
Playlist.
I'm making a really quick lunch before I burn.
Is it hot?
So hot. It must be like 40 degrees right now, hey?
Apparently it's like 42, I think.
42.
Now, something of the sort.
No, that's ridiculous. We need to get back in the aircon cars right now.
Yep.
Where does this other one read?
That's on the same one, so they once you plug it in, then both will, the one will inflate, the other one will deflate up until it reaches a level.
That's crazy. Okay.
Tires bite into the loose rock, engines strain, hearts steady. Every bend reveals more of the raw, unfiltered beauty we chase. Out here, you don't just drive, you feel. You earn every meter, and in the silence between gear shifts and breath, you remember why you do this. Somewhere along the way, the trail faded, or maybe we wandered, hard to say. But no one's worried. This is adventure. It's not about staying on track, it's about trusting the journey. Out here, a wrong turn can lead to the best stories. So we keep moving, eyes open, hearts light. Because sometimes, being a little lost is exactly where you're meant to be. Klein Pella, a place to catch our breath. The desert softens here, palms sway, water runs, and for a moment, time slows. We stop not just because we lost, but because it feels right, to reset, to find the line forward. The track will come back into focus soon enough, but first, we take this pause. It's part of the story too.
So what did we say it's called? Harbeesmond.
We think we found the way back. The track stretches ahead, faint, promising, familiar, maybe. It looks right, it feels right. But out here, nothing is ever certain. And maybe that's the point. Sometimes the path isn't confirmed by science, but by the feeling in your gut and the grit on your wheels.
So, little detour again. We'll obviously send all these routes to South Africa, but we just ended up on a locked gate, so I don't know. We are going back to Klein Pella and we'll probably camp there for the night and then regroup and figure out how to get to Harbeesmond tomorrow.
So we turn back towards Klein Pella, dusty, wiser, and not at all defeated. Because adventure doesn't always give you what you want, sometimes it gives you what you need. We roll out canvas at the Klein Pella campsite as the light begins to soften. What started as a detour becomes a gift. Shade, stillness, and just enough comfort to exhale. It's not where we plan to be, but it's exactly where we need to be. Out here, the best moments aren't always on a map. Sometimes they find you when you finally stop chasing the trail and just take a breath. Morning comes easy at Klein Pella. No rush, no engine noise, just the quiet rituals of breakfast, sunlight, and slow movement. It's our first real pause, a chance to breathe, to take in where we are and where we've been. The trail will wait. For now, this stillness is part of the journey too. And when we leave, we'll carry this with us. A few local tips and we're back on track. Sometimes the best directions don't come from a map.
So that was an interesting little detour yesterday. Suppose these things happen with any adventures. We found a new route and a new campsite. I found this little campsite actually quite pleasant, I must admit. Amy, Leah and Georgia, what did you think of the Klein Pella campsite?
It was very nice, like a little oasis. Because we were under the impression that we would not be having any facilities last night. So I think we really enjoyed it, and we saw lots of little kitties visiting our campsite, which was really cute.
We also had some interesting driving. You seem to have been enjoying it, particularly Nathan. What did you think of the route we took yesterday?
All things considered yesterday, that canyon pass, I really enjoyed it because you don't expect kind of that level of trail out here. And yeah, I just think it was cool to do something different, you know, as opposed to just the constant flat sand.
Yeah, I can actually recommend this little place, Klein Pella's campsite, if you're doing the full route especially. This might be a nice break in between because it's got nice facilities, green lawn, it's quite pretty, and it's really inexpensive as well, so very nice little find. Francois, you've got a brand new opposite lock vehicle there. How's that Hilux doing?
I'm quite impressed, slightly nervous because it's brand new, but quite impressed. I can't fault it anyway. Did very well in the route that we took, the one pass. Once you get to get the feel for the vehicle and just see how it reacts, then it's quite easy, quite comfortable and quite enjoyable. So I can't fault it. I think the suspension did well. I think the vehicle overall with the camping, everything just A for away.
And Ridu, we had some unexpected technical obstacles yesterday. The caravan seemed to handle it just fine.
Yeah, Christoph, Charles Pass was really nice, and I didn't find that too difficult. I had to look up once or twice, but in general it was quite easy. Canyon Pass, however, yeah, that was really difficult. I didn't have any challenges. I didn't scratch or break anything, and I'm really happy with that. Just had to get out of the vehicle once or twice to make sure I take the right line with a caravan. I had to take some different lines to what you guys did. But yeah, I think all of you did very, very well, and we got out unscathed. None of the vehicles had any damage, and it was a really nice challenge, and I think that's what we came for.
Well, absolutely, it's unexpected, but it turned out for the good, I think. And I think it just goes to show, especially like those bushwhackers, they built for this. So that exactly, you can bring your family out to even these places and still have all the comforts you need, but it can handle everything you throw at it.
Absolutely.
Right, so we have followed some local advice, and the routes on Trucks for Africa, we will obviously upload our route to them to have it fixed. Wanted to take us through a closed gate yesterday. So I think we found the right route now, so we'll be following that. And we're on to Harbeesmond.
Excited for it. Is there a fishing spot there?
There is indeed. We're right next to the Orange River, so we'll try our hand at that. That fishing rod we bought at the Midas, so let's see how that goes.
Sounds good.
It's on.
Bronzo, did you pack in that kiddie's fishing rod of yours?
I did, and it's ready to take on the big fish. Dinner's on me tonight.
Barbel.
We're back on track, and it's everything we've hoped for. Rugged, raw, and absolutely stunning. Harbeesmond, tucked beside the Orange River, quiet and beautiful. After the dust and the searching, this place feels like a reward. Still water, soft light, and the sense that we've arrived. And suddenly the silence breaks, just for a moment. Rudu sinks into the sand trying to turn the caravan. But out here, no one's ever really stuck for long. A few laughs, a few hands, and we're rolling again. This is all just part of the story. As the sun sets over the Orange River, we settle in for the night. This quiet, this stillness, this is why we came. Not just for the trail, but for moments like these, where time slows and everything feels exactly as it should be. what a place to say goodbye to.
We only stayed one evening at Harbeesmond, and I can actually highly recommend this campsite. It is absolutely stunning. We have not seen a single other soul. The water is coming up quite high, so do watch where you camp. Stay above the high water level. Other than that, it's absolutely spectacular. We're on to Malcote Boom today. We've heard sort of mixed reviews about it, so we'll see. There are some alternatives in the area, so if we don't like it, we'll just move on to something else. As I mentioned earlier, we will put this whole route on Patreon, and I will update Trucks for Africa as well, because we had a really hard time finding this campsite. A lot of the coordinates are not right. Just packing up and then we'll head out. It is hot already. It's already in the 30 degrees Celsius, and it's only like 8-9 o'clock, so let's go.
We arrived here lost, unsure, wondering, but this place, this silence, it welcomed us. No crowds, no signal, just the whisper of the Orange River and the rhythm of wind against canvas. We're back on the trail again, engines humming, wheels carving through the red sand.
I think that campsite was definitely for the books. Not the easiest to find, but I really liked it, I must say. Amy, Lee and Georgia, what did you guys think?
We actually really enjoyed it. It was so beautiful to be camping right by the river. I mean, I haven't seen that river in like 10 years, so it was so nice to see it again.
And how did you find the wild camping?
Not so bad, hey? Though luckily we had the river to swim and stuff, so we didn't actually end up using the shower cube, but we'll probably do that today. But it wasn't so different. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think especially if you have the right equipment, right? Then it's not, you don't have to rough it out here by any means. Yeah, you need to work out your water and your usage, but it's definitely not like you have to slum it out here, right?
No, completely. And it's also so nice being so far away from civilization that like we can really see the sky so beautifully, and it was really nice being in the darkness last night.
Yeah, we had that storm coming up. It didn't do much, but it was spectacular to see.
It was.
Francois, your setup's not complete yet, but I think you've got the essentials. How did you find it?
I found it not too difficult, if I can say that. Yes, there can be one or two things that you can add to make it a little bit more comfortable, but I can survive and I can enjoy it while I'm doing that. For now, the basics works 100%. You don't need to go all out, don't need to spend a lot of money on all the spectacular things. You can still come out here and experience what other people experience with just the basic stuff.
100%. I think it's you know, as you progress, you usually want to get more comfort, and especially if you have a family, you want them all to be comfortable. But you don't actually need a lot. You need a good vehicle, you need good tires, 4x4 obviously, and usually then what you add doesn't have to cost you a fortune, so it's great to see setups like that still.
Definitely.
Rudu, we had some more technical driving yesterday, but I see that bushwhacker is handling it in its stride.
No, Christopher, it was a really nice drive, and no, everything went well. I must say we were at a stunning campsite. I really enjoyed it. Tried my hand at some fishing yesterday without any luck, but luckily Francois managed to catch a nice fish. And this morning was really beautiful. We woke up early and just sat around camp and took all the scenery in. It was really something to remember.
Yeah, no, I think that campsite, like I said, is definitely for the books. Nathan, what did you think of that campsite?
Yeah, I think although it was the first wild campsite, it was definitely the best by far for me. Yeah, I also tried my hand at fishing, but Francois had the luck. But I think last night's views, kind of watching the storm roll over the mountains, was just incredible. I don't think I'm going to forget that anytime soon.
Yeah, and the other thing that's, you know, I keep thinking about is We from Pella to this camp yesterday, we did not, and this morning for that matter, we haven't seen a single other soul, right?
Yeah, but I definitely do think this is something that more people need to come and experience. It's incredible. But this campsite did set very high expectations for later today.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're heading to Melkoutboom now. We'll go through a little village called Witboonk, and we might stop there. And Melkoutboom, we've got sort of mixed reviews that a lot of people just didn't like it at all. So we'll see what it's like. There are alternatives in the area, so if we don't like it, we'll just move on to the next. Enjoy the ride. I'll catch you again in Witboonk.
Up here, far above it all, it looks almost unreal. Endless sand stitched with the silver thread of the Orange River. The land stretches out like a painting, bold strokes of rust, sky, and that stubborn line of green hugging the water. This trail doesn't rush, it winds. It teaches you to slow down, to see again. And in the quiet hum of the convoy, there's something sacred, a rhythm, a presence, just us, the road, and the raw, wild beauty of this place. We stop now and then, drawn back to the river. It's rising, slow but certain, swollen from the rains upstream. There's a quiet power in it, steady, patient, unstoppable. We pause for a moment, let it remind us, everything moves forward in time. On arrival, the land greets us with something rare, unexpected: rain. Out here, where dryness is the rule, it felt like a blessing, gentle, cleansing, as if the desert itself exhaled. A quiet welcome at the end of a long road.
So we've been on this trail a couple of days now. What has been your experience, and especially with towing a caravan? Is this something you would suggest to other people? How have you found it?
Christoph, most of the route has been actually very, very easy. But there has been a few passes, 12 passes and canyon pass. And even on that side detour we took yesterday, there were some technical sections. I wouldn't suggest you come with a big caravan. I think, one of the medium and smaller size ones should do well, or a good off-road trailer with good ground clearance. Specifically the overhang behind the axles, when you climb those rock steps. if we go down, that's where we might end up with some damage, and it's not very wide, so you have to look for your line. But I found it to be a very good challenge. That's why I brought the caravan with. I could have come with the bucket alone, but the caravan added a little bit more comfort, added some water, gave me a little bit more, opportunity to just be sure that, I'm going to survive the route for the amount of water and stuff we need to carry. Sleep very comfortable and all of that. But the challenge is what I was after, I just wanted to say, I've had so many clients tell me, no, it's not possible, don't do it, and I've actually found it, there's no damage to my vehicle, no damage to the caravan, and yeah, it's been awesome. I would definitely suggest doing it. Just make sure that you've got the right vehicle, and common sense pretty well.
Yeah. And some people might think, well, there's no toilets out here, there's no shower. Why do you do this? Why do you come out here?
So we obviously have, a fully equipped vehicle, and we've got all the amenities on board, and we can shower, and there's a porta potty and all of that. But that's not what it's about. For me, it's the scenery, the peace and quiet. I'm sitting here, and it's surreal. We've had rain just now, the dramatic effects of the clouds over the mountains, the sound of the river. It's just something that you want to bottle and take home. And, on those days that come hectic again at the office, you actually think back at this, and, you find some inner peace. It's really nice. I would love to have my family here as well, for them to experience this with me. And I think this is what we look for. You look for these nice gems, and you've got the tools to get you to those places.
This is why we do this. To find something still, something real, to carry it with us into whatever chaos awaits beyond the trail. The sky opens up, not with words, but with color, like the land itself is taking a breath after the rain. Pink and orange, dust and cloud, dancing in the last light of day. The air is thick with the smell of rain on dry sand, the earthy smell of renewal. Out here, it's easier to be present, to breathe, to feel. The real challenge isn't finding that peace, it's remembering it, holding on to it, letting it change the way we live when we go back home. Morning breaks over Malcote Boom. Clear skies, cool air, the kind that wakes you up from the inside out. Today we head further downstream to a place where stories run as deep as the river.
So we are on our way to Goodhouse. It's a local community here. We'll meet some of the locals, specifically Fernando, who's a guide for the Namakwa Eco Trail.
Fernando is a local guide, storyteller, and keeper of memories. Today, Fernando is taking us to the water to show us how they fish here. This is the way it's been done here for generations, shaped by the river, the seasons, and a deep knowing passed down through time.
Vang ons met natuurlike as. So dit is lewendige aasbyt. Wat ons mee hier langs vang, so sprinkane, voeltjies, wurms. As ons aardwurms kry, gebruik ons die en klein visjetjies.
Fernando carries the land in his voice. 1,000 stories passed down like river stones, each one smoothed by time.
This is just outside Goodhouse. and you can contact Fernando. I'll put his info in the link below, and you can arrange to have some traditional fishing. Highly suggested. It's a lovely day, and you can see how these guys actually catch fish. So what he was saying earlier is quite pertinent. If you don't catch fish here, you don't eat. It's obviously a poor community, but they look after the place, they're proud, and if you're coming through here, do stop. Really friendly people. You can support the tuck shop, organize some local fishing. Definitely recommend it.
We give it a go, trying our hand at this age-old way of fishing. Let's just say we've got a long way to go before we can call ourselves experts.
Wat het jy hier vanaand?
Dit is nou 'n geelvis die.
Daai geelvis.
Is wat ons sê die geelvis, is die dun bekkietjie.
Oh, wel dan.
Ja.
Daar gaan hy.
So, congrats on catching your first fish.
Thank you. I just pulled it in though.
And have you ever fished like this before?
No, only with a rod when I was younger, maybe like 7 years old. So this is my first proper old school fishing experience.
And would you recommend people come here and do this?
I think it's quite fun. Just make sure you have a hat and sunscreen. Oh, but it's actually really lovely out here.
As we leave the riverbank, Rudu gets stuck, not in deep sand, but in a spot soft enough to hold him tight. No panic, no fuss, just a little reminder that this land always keeps you on your toes. Francois steps in, winch ready, and with steady hands pulls him free. No drama, just teamwork and adventure. We pause briefly in Goodhouse, a small place with deep roots and stories waiting to be told. It's quiet right now, but tomorrow we'll return to visit the local school. A chance to connect, to learn, and to see how this community nurtures its future.
Hi.
For now, the river calls us onward. Instead of going all the way back to Melkoutboom, we decided to try another local camp that's closer.
So we thought we'd try Sampie Sekampi because we didn't want to go all the way back to Melkoutboom and then having to go past Goodhouse again in any case. I actually paid for this place already, but we can't reach it because it's overgrown. I don't have my chainsaw with, we've only got a handsaw, and that would take like the rest of the day to clear this stuff. So I will be asking for my money back.
I'm still waiting to this day for my refund, so I don't recommend this camp. We take a chance to see if Roman's Drift is open, and lucky for all of us, it is. We're taking it easy. Another unbelievable campsite. Wide open skies, the hush of the river, and that feeling that we've stumbled onto something special. Evening greets us with another unforgettable show. The sky burning gold and rose as the sun dips low. Campfires spark to life, stories drift into the smoke. And just as the light fades, the moon rises, calm, bright, timeless. Nights like this don't ask for much, just your presence. We're returning to Goodhouse, this time to visit the local school.
So we on our way back to Goodhouse. It was an unscheduled stay here at Roman's Drift. Originally it was, they said it was booked. Turned out it wasn't, and some piece of grumpy we couldn't reach the campsite, which is pity, but at least this place was available. Francois, what did you think of the fishing at Goodhouse and subsequently last night here at Roman's Drift?
We were trying our best, and luckily it succeeded last night. So we mixed some knowledge that we earned from the Nama people, and then we mixed it with a little bit of modern technology, and yeah, finally it worked, and it was quite exhilarating after the long day of fishing, trying, and then at least we caught a fish. So that was very nice. I enjoyed it.
Amy Lee and Georgia, what did you think of the experience meeting the local folks there at Goodhouse?
They were all really welcoming and sweet, and the kids were so curious and just very welcoming and a very warm community. I really enjoyed that experience.
Rudu, you also tried fishing. How did you find it, and what do you think of the campsite?
Christoph, Roman's Drift was very, very nice. I would highly suggest people coming here. I think we had a great evening there, and the nice conversations around the fire was also great. Goodhouse was very cool. I would like to camp on that little beach there as well, where we fished with the locals yesterday. I really enjoyed myself. I stood in the river and thought about friends I never met, and yeah, it was really, really nice just to take it all in.
So yeah, back to Goodhouse to deliver some stationery at the school there. I highly suggest if you're doing this trail, do stop at Goodhouse. Get some of the local guides for the fishing. But also if you can spare, bring some stationery and just drop it off at the school. And just a special thank you to all the companies that provided some stationery as well. alu-cab, Outdoor Campers, Opposite Lock, Go Camp, Takla. It's really much appreciated. It'll go to good use at this little school. Thank you very much. We headed there right now, and then we will go to Kamgap, which is our last camp on the Eco Trail. This is the end of section 1. We'll not be doing section 2 this time, but it seems there might be a change in itinerary, so we'll see later. We might have a very epic place to end off this series.
We've brought along some stationery, small things, but with purpose. The kids welcome us with their bright eyes and big smiles, curious, kind, incredibly well-mannered. In their voices, in their energy, you can feel it, the hope of this small, proud community.
So, slight change of plan. We've decided not to go to Kamgap because it's very similar to Romansdrift where we've just been. The change of plan is we'll go to Kamiskroon. We'll get out of the Eco Trail now and refuel at Steinkopf. We've decided to end this trip at the ocean. So we are headed ultimately to Namakwa National Park, and we'll spend 2 nights there, one at Gurangoral Bay and the last at Delvis Camp, and then work our way back home.
I think that was pretty heartwarming. Thumping up the bull sort of brought this whole thing back into perspective. It's like something you take for granted. And that soccer ball was given to the school about 1.5 years ago with another TV program. And it's so well looked after, but you know, they have no way of pumping it. So we just pumped up the ball and probably made that kid's day. We certainly should not take for granted what we have and some of the privileges we have that these guys do not. So if you're in the area, do stop at Goodhouse. As I mentioned, I'll put Fernando's contact details in the description. Bring stationery, hygiene products, toiletries. You know, we take those things for granted, but these kids don't have it. And these kids still have a real shot, right? So if we can help them get a good education and have some of their basic needs looked after, they might, you know, become great leaders someday. You don't know. They could change this place around or do many other great things. But we have these things in excess, and these people have none. They want to be proud and self-sustaining, and you can help them by visiting these areas, spending locally, and bringing basic stuff, like I said, hygiene products, toiletries, and definitely stationery. It doesn't have to cost you a fortune. There's literally like 14 kids there, but it goes a long way.
We leave Goodhouse behind and head toward the tarmac. But nothing could have prepared us for what's next. This stretch, this raw, untamed corner of the world is the most spectacular scenery I've ever laid eyes on. Feels almost surreal being back on tour after so many kilometers of driving dirt. We're heading towards Steinkopf, where we'll refuel, and then we're headed southwest to the ocean. A short stretch of tar, and then it's time to air down again. By now, it's routine, but somehow it never gets old. Welcome to Namakwa National Park. No matter how many times I see it, the first glimpse of the ocean always hits me like the first time. For a moment, I'm a kid again, wide-eyed, weightless, full of wonder. Gurangoral Bay is a great campsite, remote, quiet, and the view, the Atlantic stretching out endlessly before you. There's something about this place that settles you, makes you feel small in the best possible way.
So, not many places like this where you can camp like this with a view like that. It's perfect. Yesterday, but I feel so. What did you think of the Namakwa Eco Trail itself?
Beautiful. I don't think there's a word that you can actually describe it in one word. It is pristine, beautiful, hot, corrugations, but I think the scenery is just beautiful. I think more people should see it. It's really underrated. I've heard a lot of the Eco Trail, but I haven't heard of a lot of people that done the Eco Trail. It's a bucket list, and it was a bucket list. It's done now, but it's really beautiful. I think the passes that we did, Charles Pass, there was nothing technical, but it's beautiful. Everywhere you come, it is just a beautiful scenery. If it's a sunrise, a sunset, mountains, rocky, everything is just beautiful. My most memorable moment of this whole trip, some would say it's the campground, some would say it's something else. My most memorable part was if we're sitting in the convoy in Charles Pass and you're in between massive mountains, rock formations, and you realize that you're actually nothing. All these vehicles we've got is nothing, but it's the most beautiful scenery to see our vehicles go up there with the nature around you. I think that was for me the most memorable moment. Camping grounds was great, all the scenery was great, but that was for me something wow to see that.
We're heading to our last camp, Delver's Camp.
So we're just airing down the tyres some more. We've been informed the sand is really thick and soft for about 6 kilometers. So I'm taking these down to about 1.2 bar.
Thick sand and beautiful views. Classic West Coast. Just make sure you follow the arrows on these sandy stretches. They're on the wrong side of the road.
This is Delver's camp, one of my favorite camps in Namakwa National Park. Would highly recommend it.
All Namakwa's campsites are lovely. This one though has a private little beach which is amazing.
So I take it this has been the longest trip you've guys been out here overlanding?
It has, actually.
Together, yes, definitely.
Yeah. This is definitely my longest one.
But how have you found it? How's it been being out here, living out of the car full time?
I do love it. I didn't grow up in a camping family at all, but being in this environment, G and I have been obviously camping since a couple months now, and it is very freeing. It is so different to being at home and stuck in the same little circle of like Cape Town life. So I find it very freeing and rewarding.
And from my side, I feel like when you don't camp for a while and you come back into that space, you almost feel like you've forgotten that sense of freedom and just leaving all of your stuff behind, all the crap, and just coming out here with what you need and seeing all these amazing things. And yeah, I feel like I missed it almost. Yeah.
And the wild camping part of it is we've had very little ablutions and flushing toilets. How's that been?
Those are actually my favorite campsites.
Same, definitely.
I loved waking up by the river every morning and actually waking up for sunrise. I never do that normally, so it was so different and wonderful and healing.
You get used to the self-sufficiency quite quickly. I think it was daunting in the beginning. Like packing in the Portaloo, we were like, oh my word, there's no way we're using this. But yeah, we ended up, you make it work. You just get used to it. Yeah.
But this is something, that usually puts an all of folks that haven't done this off, right? It's like, oh, well, where do I poop? And it's like, there's no showers, so how do I do that? But I think you're very well kitted with Thor, the vehicle you've got with you. How's that been using that?
Oh, amazing. I think there's always extra little bits that you find while you're on a trip that you could like upgrade or do better. But actually, considering we haven't done very many long distance trips with this car, we're pretty sorted. We've almost had everything we need. The shower cube is looking good. We're excited about that now. Got the new shower tray, which is coming out. So yeah.
It's so easy to live like this when you're that kitted out. Yeah. It really is.
It does make it comfortable. I don't think you need all of it, but certainly you don't have to rough it out here either, right? It's like you have all the amenities you need, but it's really nice to be out here.
Yeah.
This is why we venture out here. Far from the noise, far from the rush, off-grid, into the stillness. To find moments like these, this is why we follow a quiet path. I hope you enjoyed this trip with us. We certainly did. We made some new friends, and it was good to see some old ones. It was great seeing nature as it's intended to be seen, wild camping for the most part, and some really friendly communities. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, it does make a difference. And until next time, get out there.